Bangor. From the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on GMM, the city of Bangor is asking the community for input on how to spend over $20 million in federal funds. Plus, American Cruise Lines have made their official return to the city's waterfront. In our top story this morning, the triple murder trial of Thomas Bonfanti continues. We'll have coverage from the courtroom. This and more local news right now. Good morning and welcome into Good Morning Maine. I'm Joe Cortez. Thanks for tuning in to the final hour. We have a lot to get to, including the nice weather we're going to see today. Maybe a little rain tonight. We're not too sure yet, but temperatures are going to reach 70s today. And welcome into June. We'll bring in Devin Biggs. He has a first check of our forecast.
Hey, Joe, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Patriot Homes and Design Center in Ellsworth. We do it all from modular, mobile, and site-built homes to porches, garages, roofs, and more. Alrighty, there was a frost advisory out that has since been dropped at 6 a.m. this morning. It was for the areas highlighted here in blue because of cool temperatures to the north this morning. But now things are starting to look pretty decent out there. We have some clouds moving in from the northwest to the south and east as this front has tracked off toward the south. It kind of went stationary, though. Some rain will be developing with it as it tries to track a little bit to the north and east as a warm front, but it will be very slow to do so. But we might try to notice a little bit of this in the southwestern parts of the state. But again, we will stay dry today. The rain may try to make it into southwestern Maine, and that'll be about it. As for low temperatures this morning, you can see why there was a frost advisory. Look at Clayton Lake getting down to 33 degrees this morning, Presque Isle at 34 degrees. But for us, though, in the lower to middle 40s, so not too bad out there in the temperature department this morning. We will be watching for increasing clouds today with that chance for rain across the southwestern parts of the state. For us, so our rain chances will arrive later on tonight. As for the wind, all right, not too bad out there, mainly at around 5 miles per hour, maybe 10 miles per hour if you're lucky, but most of us will be dealing with a nice calm wind overall, maybe a light breeze at best. But your hourly forecast moving forward for the rest of the morning period, increasing clouds, temperatures in the 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Joe?
Thank you, Devin. First up this morning, the triple murder trial of Thomas Bonfanti continues. In court, Bonfanti hinted at a confusing motive after accusing his alleged victims of criminal activity. A.J. Douglas brings us the details this morning.
Employees from the Maine State Police Crime Lab testified that the sweat jacket cut off of Regina Hall Long's body upon receiving life-saving medical aid has bullet holes in places consistent with Long's testimony, describing being shot in the face and shoulder. The state rested its case after a forensic expert confirmed that Thomas Bonfanti's DNA was found on the gun recovered from his vehicle during his 2020 arrest. Defense attorney Jeffrey Toothaker requested that Bonfanti's doctor and a previous American Legion employee testify. However, Justice Bruce Maloney decided to exclude both potential witnesses, deeming their testimony unrelated to the crimes Bonfanti is accused of committing. Prior to the justice's final decision, he gave Bonfanti the chance to connect either witness to the case. Bonfanti addressed the court stating, quote, "I was Mary Tinker's supervisor. The people involved in this case were selling her drugs. The people involved in this case were putting pressure on me not to prosecute her." Quote, Tinker stated in court that she does not know any of the shooting victims and has not spoken to Bonfanti since her employment ended at the American Legion in 2019. Defense attorney Jeffrey Toothaker confirmed Bonfanti will testify in court Wednesday morning. The prosecution has no objection to Bonfanti's testimony on what he believes took place February 3rd, 2020. In Belfast, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
The Maine State Police have located the owner of a vehicle involved in the fatal hit-and-run crash in Danforth. Officials say the Ford Explorer involved is registered to 35-year-old Ryan Moore of Danforth, and they say Moore has made contact with law enforcement. Police responded to the crash on Springfield Road at 2:25 p.m. Sunday. They say the 2003 Ford Explorer was heading south and crossed the center line, striking both 50-year-old Don Charette of Frenchville and 30-year-old Jesse Ouellette of St. Agatha on their motorcycles. Neither of them were wearing helmets, according to authorities. Charette later died, and Ouellette suffered non-life-threatening injuries. A person has been charged in connection with a threat directed towards RSU 67 last week. Lincoln Police Chief J.D. Sparks says 18-year-old Hunter Dunham of Farmington allegedly made a threat on Thursday while talking with a student on social media. Now, school officials became aware of it around 8:15 Friday morning and restricted access in and out of the school buildings as a precaution. Officials say there was never an immediate threat to students or staff. According to Sparks, Dunham is not associated with RSU 67, but he does have a relationship with a student there. Dunham has been charged with terrorizing. RSU 67 includes the town of Lincoln, Mattawamkeag, and Chester. Officers in Portland are investigating multiple incidents on Memorial Day with 3 separate shootings in a matter of 90 minutes. They say these shootings are not connected. Around 5:45 Monday night in the area of Park Avenue and Forest Street, a 19-year-old was shot and injured in a drive-by incident. Police say multiple people were filming a music video in the area when the shooting occurred. Police later found that vehicle in Wells, which they say was stolen from Roe Ford last week. A second incident occurred on Washington Avenue about 20 minutes later, where a woman called to say she was shot while walking her dog. Now, police believe the weapon involved in this incident was likely an airsoft gun, and the woman was not injured. An hour after that, police say a man fired off his gun inside his apartment on Brackett Street. Police say shooting pedestrians with airsoft guns has become a challenge on social media.
So we're very concerned about that. One, someone getting injured. Two, the individuals that are doing it, something could happen. A police officer could see that, think it's a real weapon. Concealed carry holder, driving down the street, gets threatened in that manner, they might fire back real rounds.
Major Martin added that getting caught often results in a felony charge. The Maine CDC reports a child has died from the flu. It's the first reported influenza-associated pediatric death in the state during the 2021-22 flu season. Now, influenza continues to circulate at elevated levels in Maine, according to the agency. They say certain groups are at high risk for more severe illnesses, including young children, people 65 and older, pregnant women, and people with certain medical conditions. The Maine CDC recommends seeking immediate medical care for your child if they are experiencing symptoms like difficulty or changes in breathing, blush lips or face, chest pain, severe dehydration, seizures, a fever above 104, or worsening of chronic medical conditions. For more information, visit maineflu.gov. And a judge says Maine State Police must turn over additional records of misconduct by troopers to the state's 2 biggest newspapers. State Police must also search out and turn over missing disciplinary records it failed to provide to the Portland Press-Herald and the Bangor Daily News. Now, the newspaper sued under the Maine Freedom of Access Act for withholding information about misconduct by troopers. The newspapers reported that many of the 22 disciplinary cases were so heavily redacted that there was no meaningful description of what led to the discipline. And the time is now 8:08. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Governor Janet Mills was on the road visiting businesses and schools in Penobscot County. Plus, Senator Susan Collins speaks of a bill that helps federal firefighters. But first, here's a quick look at your forecast. We have temperatures back in the 70s. Increased clouds will be moving in the area. We'll have a little bit of sunshine tonight. Slight chance of rain showers may be moving in, but the temperatures will drop below 50 degrees. And tomorrow we'll have partially cloudy skies with a high of 71 degrees.
Make the call to unclog. Nichols Plumbing has been serving Bangor and beyond for over 45 years. Our community has placed their trust in us for plumbing, well and drain maintenance, camp weatherization, sewer and septic line repair and replacement, and we also offer 24/7 emergency services. Our plumbers are fully licensed and ready to solve any plumbing problem. 989-1533. Make the call to unclog.
Welcome to the all-new Oakland Furniture Sit and Sleep Gallery. Come in and explore our great selection of quality living room sets and mattresses, all designed for your comfort. You'll find terrific deals when you shop now because we haven't just rolled back our prices, we've gone to prehistoric pricing. Where else can you find a queen mattress starting at $188? For a deal you just can't dig up anywhere, shop local. Shop the all-new Oakland Furniture Sit and Sleep Gallery.
Why do thousands of customers take the drive to Newport for all their shoes? Because Comfort Shoes & More has the styles you want, and they also have trained podorthists on staff to help you with all your footwear and arch support issues. We provide free foot evaluations by people who care about fitting you with the most comfortable shoes you will ever own. We have shoes in stock up to 6C and size 17, from safety shoes and boots, running, walking, casual or dress. We have it all at Comfort Shoes & More, 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport, across from Irving.
Fox Tonight is all new. First,
Cookers, the best comeback dish ever.
Every one of them
I have unfinished business in the MasterChef kitchen.
has something to prove.
The dish is good, but it's not your average season.
All new MasterChef, then until you think you can dance.
Are you ready?
It's the final night of auditions and a marvel of unbelievably talented dancers.
Is this your family over there?
Yeah. Do you know how talented you are?
For sure, yes. 100% yes.
All new MasterChef, followed by an all new So You Think You Can Dance, tonight on Fox.
Governor Janet Mills spent the day on the road visiting businesses and schools in Penobscot County. Part of her day included a tour of Eastern Maine Community College in Bangor, where she got a chance to look at the new nursing simulation lab that's being built at the school. The governor's Maine Jobs and Recovery Plan helped fund this new lab, as well as provide 2 years of tuition-free education to recent Maine high school graduates at any of Maine's community colleges.
People are going to be finding skills that they didn't even know they had, and it isn't just the traditional trades, which is very robust as well. There's welding downstairs here, automotive, CDL, Thank you very much. There's a real shortage of truck drivers, but also healthcare and education.
The college's administrators and staff say they believe with the help of the governor's Maine Jobs and Recovery Plan, they will see student ratios rebound to pre-pandemic levels in the coming year. The Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee advanced a bill to guarantee federal firefighters receive federal or financial support for medical costs associated with their jobs. The Federal Firefighter Fairness Act was co-authored by Senator Susan Collins and co-sponsored by Senator Angus King. The bill would create a presumption that a disability or death of a federal firefighter caused by certain diseases is the result of the performance of their duties, thereby ensuring financial support for their illness. The list of covered diseases includes a variety of cancers, respiratory illnesses, as well as sudden cardiac events and strokes. In a statement, Senator Collins said in part, quote, "Federal firefighters protect some of our nation's most critical assets and infrastructure, and these brave men and women should have the same occupational safeguards and benefits as most of their colleagues at the local level." The bill is supported by the International Association of Firefighters, the American Federation of Government Employees, and the National Active and Retired Federal Employees Association. It will now be considered by the full Senate. The time is now 8:13. After the break, the Bangor City Council is asking the public where they should spend the $20 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds. Plus, after meeting with the New Zealand Prime Minister on her success in banning military-style semi-automatic weapons, President Biden looks to support similar legislation in the states. We'll be right back.
Take your waterfront experience to the next level with a ShoreMaster dock system from Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through ShoreMaster's many options and accessories and match you with the right equipment for your waterfront. And with ShoreMaster, it's easy to make future changes or additions. ShoreMaster docks are easy to install, but Hammond can arrange for professional installation if needed. And statewide delivery is available. Enjoy life on the water to the fullest with ShoreMaster from Hammond Lumber Company.
There's a different way to treat HIV. It's every other month injectable Cabenuva. For adults who are undetectable, Cabenuva is the only complete HIV treatment you can get every other month.
Cabenuva helps keep me undetectable. It's 2 injections given by my healthcare provider every other month.
It's one less thing to think about while traveling.
HIV pills aren't on my mind. A quick change in my plans is no big deal.
Don't receive Cabenuva if you're allergic to its ingredients or taking certain medicines which may interact with Cabenuva. Serious side effects include allergic reactions, post-injection reactions, liver problems, and depression. If you have a rash and other allergic reaction symptoms, stop Cabenuva and get medical help right away. Tell your doctor if you have liver problems or mental health concerns, and if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or considering pregnancy. Some of the most common side effects include injection site reactions, fever, and tiredness. If you switch to Cabenuva, attend all treatment appointments.
Every other month, and I'm good to go.
Ask your doctor about every other month Cabenuva.
Hank's Husqvarna is your full-line Husqvarna dealer with 2 convenient locations, 32 Old State Road in Carmel and 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport. Whether it's tractors and zero-turns, chainsaws to trimmers, or pressure washers to battery power, everything is set up, serviced, and ready to go by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or sales, stop in to Hank's Husqvarna, Carmel, or Newport.
The city of Bangor is asking the community for input on how to spend over $20 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds. Last night was the first of 6 public sessions where community members could make their voices heard on how and where to spend the money. Stephanie Wittenbach has the details.
Bangor City Council is asking residents where they should spend $20.48 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds. According to the City of Bangor, there are a few federal guidelines they must follow. Funding can go into several categories, for instance, like disproportionately impacted communities, broadband infrastructure, and mental health services. One Bangor resident attended Tuesday night's meeting to get a better understanding of the funding.
My main concern is making sure that that money goes to a project that we need to spend the money on anyways, and my hope is to get them to spend the money on things that would reduce tax rates or other taxes in the city for residents.
Delano says so far, city officials have been very receptive to his advice.
The proposed budget for 22-23 shows an increase of about 4.5% for the sewer spending in the city. My thought is that usage is going to go back down, use some of this money for sewer projects so that we don't have to increase rates to residents of Bangor.
Other public input came from local organization leaders like Together Place and Fresh Start Sober Living. Fresh Start Sober Living has 10 homes for sober residents. He says the money could help build more housing.
And we could use 10 more. These are recovery residents for people seeking recovery from the streets, from the jail, from prison, that are from Penobscot counties.
I served in situations in elective office, state senator for Bangor, mayor for Bangor, and never before have we had $20 million that was discretionarily available to make an investment.
He says there is a large need for public health access in eastern Maine.
Our main service is recovery groups and one-on-one sessions for people who really need recovery services.
The next public meeting for residents is on Thursday, June 2nd at 6 p.m. in Rangeley Hall at Eastern Maine Community College. In addition, there are 6 other meetings people can attend. In Bangor, I'm Stephanie Wittenbach reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Just about 20 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's get a full look at our forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs. He's in with the latest. Good morning, Dev.
Alrighty, Joe, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Patriot Homes and Design Center in Ellsworth. We do it all from modular, mobile, and site-built homes to porches, garages, roofs, and more. Alrighty, so we do have a frost advisory that was up until about 6 a.m. this morning. That has since been dropped. It was for the counties highlighted here in blue because temperatures there got down to the lower to even middle 30s this morning, supporting frost development, though, especially with the clearest skies earlier. Now we're watching more clouds that are moving in from the northwest to the south and east. As we're watching our next system here, that's pretty much gone stationary. This front is pretty much stationary at this point. It's going to try to start moving to the north and east as a warm front briefly, though. Before this system starts to move in soon, it'll give us some decent chances for rain coming up over the next few days. Wave heights are very calm right now. That's why there are no small craft advisories in effect along the coast, mainly at around 1 to 2 feet. At this point, though, we expect these to remain calm for most of the day because winds will not be a big deal at all, maybe getting up around 10, maybe 15 miles per hour if you're lucky, but rather remaining calm as we head towards Thursday morning. As for the water temperatures, though, those are still rather low at this point. We're still seeing water temperatures that are still in the lower to middle 50s. But with that in mind, though, if you're going outside sunshine today. The UV index forecast is at a 7, so a burn time of around 30 minutes. So hats, sunglasses, sunscreen, and shade still needed though, as you can still get sunburned, even though we will have some clouds moving in throughout the day. Our average high is now 71 degrees. We will be in the lower 70s today and tomorrow, then cooling off into the lower 60s by Friday, then trending back up by Monday and Tuesday into the lower 70s. So temperatures near to slightly below average, but not too bad for this time of the year. But increasing clouds will be the theme today, with rain just off toward our south and west. We will have our chances for rain as we head towards the overnight period tonight. Not the strongest of chances, maybe a few showers, and that'll be about it. Clouds will clear out for the most part. We'll call it partly cloudy through the day on Thursday, so we will notice some sunshine though before more clouds try to sneak in here as we head towards Friday morning as that next system approaches. Increasing clouds today, temperatures in the lower 70s, and that northwest wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, 47 degrees, rain showers will be on the way, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. Looking ahead towards tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs in the lower 70s, and the wind overall still looking nice and calm. Alrighty, your Patriot Homes, or I should say your Patriot Homes and Design Center in Ellsworth extended forecast looking pretty good through at least Friday before rain moves back in. Saturday, thunderstorms on the way. Sunday, more rain on the way. Temperatures overall in the 60s and 70s.
We're a AAA family.
We found out about AAA insurance through a friend who had actually mentioned it a while ago. We ran the numbers and it totally worked.
We looked at the statement for our previous insurer and then AAA insurance. Definitely, we've seen a huge difference.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
By switching over to AAA insurance, we saved over $450. So with our savings, he bought more equipment.
More money means more practice equipment.
In his world.
Why didn't we do this earlier? Why did it take so long?
We're a AAA family now.
AAA insurance allows us to do so much more with our kids and spend more time with them.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA insurance, call 877-209-5197 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Bar Harbor, is sponsored by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa auto parts dealer with 29 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. University of Maine Early College, tuition-free online summer courses for high school students, umaine.edu/earlycollege. And Quiet Side Cafe and Ice Cream Shop, serving the best pie in Maine, seafood baskets, lobster rolls, burgers, pizza, and so much more.
New reports that Uvalde police are no longer cooperating with the state investigation into the law enforcement response to Robb Elementary in Texas. Justin Finch is in Washington with more.
At Uvalde's Sacred Heart Catholic Church, a final farewell for 10-year-old Amerie Jo Garza.
A part of Uvalde and her is just gone from my heart. It just feels horrible.
Garza and 10-year-old Maite Rodriguez both laid to rest Tuesday. Father Eduardo Morales is presiding over at least 12 funerals for victims of the Robb Elementary shootings.
Although I have celebrated many funeral masses, this certainly is, the situation is different. It's as if one huge funeral that is not ending.
Funeral after funeral as new details emerge in the tragic timeline that's brought Uvalde to its knees. The Texas Department of Public Safety confirming a Robb Elementary teacher re-entering the building after seeing the suspect crash his truck before the shooting and call 911. Her lawyer telling the San Antonio Express News she saw the armed suspect, went back inside the school and closed the door, adding she thought the door would lock because that door is always supposed to be locked. This as state officials say Uvalde Schools Police Chief Pete Arredondo is no longer cooperating with its investigators after his initial interview. Law enforcement sources say Uvalde Police and Uvalde Schools Police are also not complying, but the state later released a statement saying both agencies have been cooperating. Several law enforcement sources tell ABC News Arredondo's refusal comes after the Texas DPS director called Uvalde's police delayed response the wrong decision. Arredondo reportedly ordered tactical teams to not go into a classroom, wrongly believing there was a barricaded subject, not an active shooter. The victims' families are saying they don't want their lost loved ones to be forgotten. As they mourn, Congress is reviewing gun reform measures as all eyes are on ongoing bipartisan Senate talks focused on advancing gun safety legislation.
And we continue with those gun reform talks. The senators are hoping to reach a compromise by next week. The changes under consideration include expanded background checks and red flag laws to take guns away from people deemed dangerous. But there's little chance of getting enough Republicans on board. Andrew Dimbert has more.
This morning, as the victims in the Texas school shooting are laid to rest, President Biden is promising to meet with Congress on guns.
I've been to more mass shooting aftermaths than I think any president in American history, unfortunately. And it's just so much of it is preventable.
On Tuesday, the president meeting with New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, praising her success in passing a ban on military-style semi-automatic weapons after a white supremacist killed 51 Muslim worshippers in 2019. The White House says the president would support similar legislation.
He supports a ban on sale of assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
But the administration acknowledges passing any new gun legislation would be an uphill battle. On Tuesday, a bipartisan meeting of senators led by Democrat Chris Murphy and Republican John Cornyn to discuss gun reform.
My plan is to get a bill, a comprehensive bill, that will save lives.
Opponents argue gun restrictions do not work.
The problem, which is mental illness and school safety.
Meanwhile, lawmakers in the House plan to vote as early as tomorrow on a package of bills known as the Protecting Our Kids Act. The bill would include laws to raise the age to purchase a semi-automatic center-fire rifle from 18 to 21, make it illegal to possess a large-capacity magazine with few exceptions, and establish requirements regulating the storage of firearms. And while gun legislation stalls in Washington, local leaders are voicing their outrage.
I'm mad about it. I'm fed up. And I concur with many of our citizens here and across this country that enough is enough, and this issue of gun violence has to be addressed.
And in New York, the governor announced a package of gun reform bills that would raise the minimum age to buy a semi-automatic rifle from 18 to 21 and limit who can buy bulletproof vests. But still to come here in the next half hour, it causes paralysis or muscle weakness, and it's a condition that is becoming more common every year. We'll take an in-depth look at the causes and recovery process of Bell's palsy. Plus, it's been 10 years, but the American cruise lines are back on the Bangor waterfront. We'll hear from the director of Parks and Rec when Good Morning Maine continues.
Dynamic hatchbacks, capable and rugged SUVs and crossovers, go anywhere vans, powerful full-size pickups. Toyota has more electrified all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models than any other brand, like the electrified Highlander Hybrid with 35 mpg and up to a 598-mile total driving range. Your New England Toyota dealer, your electrified all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Sheldon Cooper's theory of relativity. All right. F is family.
We have family business to discuss.
We're getting a puppy?
No.
Then I'm not sure I care. X is love.
Sweet dreams. Love you.
Love you too, because you're my mom.
Young Sheldon 5 times a week.
On Fox 22.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Welcome back. It is June 1st of 2022. Welcome into June. It's also Wednesday. There's 20 days until summer. Devin has the forecast in just a moment. Here's some abstract history. This is the approximate date in 4000 BC when the horse was first domesticated somewhere in central Ukraine, if that really is true. Actor Andy Griffith and actress Marilyn Monroe would be 96 today if they were still alive. Actor Morgan Freeman is 85. Rolling Stone guitarist Ronnie Wood is 75. And actress Amy Schumer turns 41. Before we throw it to Devin, though, I was scrolling through my Facebook earlier today. And this is, if you don't follow the Bangor Police Department on Facebook, you must tune in. It's world-renowned. People follow it from all over. It's just too funny. So yesterday, this was a post 2 hours ago. Yesterday, well over 33,000 residents of Bangor, Maine committed no crimes. They just wanted to point that out. So let's try to see if we can get that going for rolling in day 2 or, Tim Cotton, Lieutenant, or you guys just took the day off and didn't arrest anybody. But hey, if 33,000, no crimes whatsoever, we'll try to roll that into today and see if it works out. Let's turn things over to meteorologist Devin Biggs. He has another look at our forecast.
Hey, Joe, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Patriot Homes and Design Center in Ellsworth. We do it all from modular, mobile, and site-built homes to porches, garages, roofs, and more. Alrighty, there was a frost advisory out that has since been dropped at 6 a.m. this morning. It was for the areas highlighted here in blue because of cool temperatures to the north this morning. But now things are starting to look pretty decent out there. We have some clouds moving in from the northwest to the south and east as this front has tracked off toward the south. It kind of went stationary, though. Some rain will be developing with it as it tries to track a little bit to the north and east as a warm front, but it will be very slow to do so. But we might try to notice a little bit of this in the southwestern parts of the state. But again, we will stay dry today. The rain may try to make it into southwestern Maine, and that'll be about it. As for low temperatures this morning, you can see why there was a frost advisory. Look at Clayton Lake getting down to 33 degrees this morning, Presque Isle at 34 degrees. But for us, though, in the lower to middle 40s, so not too bad out there in the temperature department this morning. We will be watching for increasing clouds today with that chance for rain across the southwestern parts of the state. For us, though, our rain chances will arrive later on tonight. As for the wind, all right, not too bad out there, mainly at around 5 miles per hour, maybe 10 miles per hour if you're lucky, but most of us will be dealing with a nice calm wind overall, maybe a light breeze at best. But your hourly forecast moving forward for the rest of the morning period, increasing clouds, temperatures in the 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Joe?
Thanks, Devin. An elementary school in Orono is the proud recipient of the Finance Authority of Maine's special giveaway. The agency developed the Invest in Me Reads program to focus on teaching kids about goal setting, money saving, and building finances. As a winner of the giveaway, Asa Adams Elementary School will receive a full collection of children's books and parent guides. One of the book's authors, Maribeth Bolts, participated in a virtual reading of the book Those Shoes to second graders Tuesday afternoon.
Well, it's a wonderful opportunity to expose children at a younger age, obviously to literacy and the value and power of reading. It's a kiosk that includes all of the books in the Money on the Bookshelf series. So we've brought all of the books here to provide to the school along with the parent guides as well.
And you can access the resources for free at investinme.com. Bell's palsy is a condition that can happen to anyone at any age. It causes paralysis or muscle weakness, drooping to one side of the face. As Jody Hersey tells us, even though this condition is often temporary, it can still be a frightening and frustrating diagnosis to live with.
Brian Netto is a talented trumpet player and radio announcer on Star 97.7. But in 2016, Netto was forced to stop playing music when he was diagnosed with Bell's palsy at St. Joseph Hospital in Bangor.
They gave me 2 medications, an antiviral drug and prednisone. And once those got into my system, they said your chances of making a full recovery are best because you acted so quickly.
The cause of Bell's palsy is unknown, but most medical experts believe a viral infection or Lyme disease is to blame for the condition.
People can recover within a period of weeks, and it can take all the way up to 6 months, 8 months.
It took a month for Netto to get most of his facial movement back.
I'm very lucky in that anyone looking at me and talking to me would never know that I had it.
Netto credits medical intervention and acupuncture with Susan Murch at Jade Branch Acupuncture for his quick recovery.
we can actually regenerate some nerve tissue and muscle tissue with acupuncture.
Murch uses acupuncture needles to stimulate the nerves affected by bells around a person's eye, forehead, cheek, and jaw. For more severe cases, she will also use electronic stimulation.
But I've had other people, after 1 or 2 treatments, their Bell's palsy was completely resolved. Other people may take months.
For weeks, viewers have only heard my voice as I've chosen to work behind the camera since I was diagnosed with stage 4 Bell's palsy back in January. Learning everything I could about this condition became a personal mission of mine as I've spent the past 4 months battling with Bell's head on.
However, Peggy Hansen of Hamden has experienced Bell's palsy more than once.
And I got it about 5 years ago after I visited my old mother who had a slight case of shingles.
Hansen got it again in April of this year. Dr. Zachary Klett of Northern Light Eye Care said it is not uncommon for a person to get Bell's palsy more than once.
I mean, I definitely have seen people who have had it on one side and then have developed it on the other side.
Now Neto is using his experience with Bell's palsy to help and encourage others battling the condition.
Well, most people that I know that have had it have all come back, but it's been a different timeline for everybody.
In Brewer, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
The Maguntacook rowing team finished its season with a win. Over the weekend, the team competed on Lake Maguntacook in Knox County against rowers from schools in Portland and Brunswick. The boys' 8 came in first by 1 second and earned the Dare Go trophy.
The great thing about this program is the kids learn how to take these boats apart and reassemble them, load them on trailers. So it's not just the activity on the water, it's all the off the water stuff that they learn a lot about, which prepares them well for life.
The 25-member Maguntacook rowing team hopes to attract even more middle and high school students to the sport of rowing. For more than a decade, American Cruise Lines have been absent in the city of Bangor. But on Monday, they made their official return to the city's waterfront. Sierra Jordan has the story.
It's been 10 years since the city of Bangor has seen American Cruise Lines on the waterfront.
Excited to see American Cruise Line back and have them here on the waterfront and here in Bangor.
The American Independence is owned by American Cruise Lines. The 200-foot vessel carrying 90 passengers docked at the Bangor waterfront shortly after 8:30 Monday morning and left early Tuesday morning.
I know they went on tours downtown. I think they did the Stephen King tour. The Bangor Historical Society had a tour for them as well.
American Cruise Lines has been serving New England for the past 30 years. Bangor City Council approved a 20-year lease with American Cruise Lines in February.
To me, it's going to be an economic boost for the area.
Tracy Willett of Bangor Parks and Rec says the American Independence is scheduled to make a total of 18 stops in the city during the summer season.
They make stops here in Bangor, in Bar Harbor, Rockland, and Portland. So certainly having Bangor as one of those stops, folks get off, are able to come and walk around downtown, eat in the restaurants here downtown, shop in some of the shops here in the city. So much like many of the activities here on the waterfront, it lends itself to a lot of activity here on the waterfront and downtown.
When we spoke to CEO Charles Robertson back in February, he says he's in the process of building a new cruise ship to be stationed in Bangor in 2024.
Bangor was a fantastic stop when we were there in the past. It was popular with our guests, and we've seen more and more people asking about it again.
In case you missed it, the American Independence will return to the waterfront next Monday at noon. In Bangor, I'm Sierra Jordan reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Still to come here this morning, Dave Peck has everything from Celtics talk ahead of the NBA Finals to the announcement of this year's Brewer Athletic Hall of Fame class. Sports is next. Don't go anywhere.
The greatest hits from the best of times are right back where they started. Z62 is playing the hits again. Z62 Retro Radio. We played them first and we're playing them again.
Z62.
General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine with equipment and tool rentals for more than 30 years. Our extensive inventory contains everything you need to get the job done right. Our professional, knowledgeable staff is here to make sure that you get the highest quality rental items to complete your project and that they have been serviced and maintained to the highest standards. Power brooms to get that sand off the lawn, leaf blowers, brush chippers, stump grinders, aerial lifts, tillers, and excavators. We rent most everything. If you don't see it in our online catalog, please ask for it. If we don't have the item you need, we would be happy to help you find it.
Welcome to Malibu with miles of scenic beauty.
Ooh, Malibu.
Yeah, we just call it the Boo.
Where the beaches are safe.
I just couldn't sleep.
Release the dogs.
People lend a helping hand.
I wouldn't wait for me to get there.
And neighbors often drop by.
You've got to get a hobby.
Oh, I've got a hobby.
Visit beautiful Malibu on 2.5 Men. Weeknights.
On Fox 22.
Everything hurts, everything's expensive. Let's not even talk about your hair. Enough! Here at Z62, we hit the rewind button. Z62 is playing the hits again. Z62 is back with the greatest hits from the best of times.
The Philadelphia Stars look to make a push for the playoffs against the Michigan Panthers. The USFL, Sunday at noon Eastern on Fox.
Good morning, everyone. Well, it's been a couple days now since the Celtics captured the Eastern Conference title. Now, there was time to enjoy it, but it's time to get back to work as they ready for Golden State. The Warriors, of course, bring a ton of NBA Finals experience into the series and also offensive firepower between Steph Curry and the return of Klay Thompson. The Celtics have actually had success against the Warriors in recent years, though. They've won 6 out of their last 7 meetings. And assuming they stay healthy, head coach Ime Udoka has reason to be optimistic.
It's a kind of a perfect storm as far as a matchup with all the offensive talent they have, the defensive talent we have, and I think our size and versatility bodes well for us as far as that. So I feel confident with a lot of guys guarding different players for them, where as opposed to other teams where, you know, whether you look at the Dallas series or others, they were trying to pick on certain people. And so we feel comfortable as far as that, and I think that benefits us defensively.
So again, game 1 of the finals is set for Thursday in San Francisco at 9 p.m., and that can be seen on ABC7. Now to the high school circuit here. 1 week ago, Nokomis softball sophomore Mia Coots fanned 20 of 21 batters on her way to a perfect game versus Herman, and that's kind of how the season has gone so far for the Warriors. Tyler Cruz has the story.
With the loss last year, we're ready to get some revenge in there.
Like they said, the Nokomis Warriors have some business to take care of after making it all the way to the regional finals last spring just to come home empty-handed.
Went 9 innings, I think it was, and ended up losing. So it was a very hard-fought game, but came away with the loss, and we're ready to get back at it.
This season, they are absolutely rolling. They've swept the defending champs, and at 13-1, they're in a good position to head into the playoffs as the number 1 seed.
Well, the mindset is just go out there and win, like score runs and we win.
Their one loss is to Herman, a 1-0 loss that the Warriors would avenge last week behind a perfect game from Mia Coots, where she struck out 20 out of 21 batters.
I've had no hitters before. 20 strikeouts. I'd never had anybody do that. That's pretty impressive.
I would say about the 3rd inning, me and my left fielder came out the field and we're like, wow, this is the game that she's going to do it.
We just kept looking at that score book and it was K down through.
Making for an emotional and an exciting moment for the sophomore.
I threw that last pitch and I was in hysterics. Like, my whole team was laughing at me. They're like, oh my gosh, Mia, you don't even look happy. I'm like, I'm so happy. And
now, she's been strong all season long. And playing defense behind her is probably not the most exciting thing in the world.
A little bit boring. I'm not even going to lie to you. I've been very active in center field for the last few years.
It's to the point where Coach was prepared for a situation like last week at Herman.
I've already explained to all the kids, if this is happening, don't talk to her, don't talk to me, stay away from people, and nobody ever mentioned it.
But That might be more difficult than trying to get a hit off of her.
I'm always loud in the dugout, and I love talking to my team about what's going on and what they saw when they were up to bat.
It's that same energy that this entire group of Warriors has and is carrying with them into the postseason.
Super positive. Positivity is one of our key things. We just keep it positive and keep the energy up, and we're just rolling with whatever comes our way.
Reporting from Newport, I'm Tyler Cruz, ABC 7 Fox 22 Sports.
Thank you, Tyler. Just an awesome story. Nokomis continue to roll with a dominant win over Foxcroft on Tuesday as well as they get a little bit closer to the postseason. Elsewhere in the high school sphere, Brewer Athletics announced its Hall of Fame class of 2022. Here is the full list of those being inducted into this year's class. 4 athletes, including Amy Freeman and Samantha Mann Kramer, 2 coaches, 1 family, and the entire Brewer Girls Athletic Association will go into the Witches Hall of Fame at the end of the summer. The ceremony will be held on Saturday, September 24th at the Brewer Community School beginning at 3 p.m. And finally, we'll close things out down at Fenway. Red Sox looking to shake off an ugly series loss to the Orioles, hosting the Reds for a little interleague play. Always like when a little National League action comes to the ballpark here. Reds trying to win their first game at Fenway since the 1975 World Series. Unbelievable. Up 1-0 in the 9th, trying to close it out. Rafi Devers making it interesting here. Sprays one to left field. That gets off the monster. Tying run now on second as Kike Hernandez slides into third. Winning run at the plate here. Alex Verdugo, no home run, but he puts it on the ground, and that does a job. Joey Votto can't handle it. Kike Hernandez scores to make it a 1-run game, so a chance for Trevor Story, but he can't catch up to the Heat. So it's the Reds who hang on to win it 2-1 is the final. So Red Sox still skidding here. They were hot, and now they're not. They're going to have to try and figure it out again. They'll be back in action against the Reds on Wednesday. Already That's Sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Situated in Jonesboro on the coast of Maine lies Barren View Golf Course, a true links course that's a treat for golfers of all skill levels. We feature a driving range, putting green, practice sand trap, pro shop, and snack bar. Open 7 days a week. Please call ahead for a tee time.
When pipes froze and water damage ravaged a home, Bouchard Cleaning was there to restore and dry things up. When a home in Wells needed mold remediation, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration performed as promised. From Madawaska to Owl's Head, Ashland to Bath, we've answered the call. More than just a cleaning company, we're restoring Maine. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
Hey, Red Sox fans, you've got to play You Pick 'em Red Sox at foxbangor.com. Local weekly winners receive prizes. Register now at foxbangor.com. You Pick 'em Red Sox is sponsored by Twin City Tint in Brewer, Comfort Shoes and More in Newport, Saliba's Rug Cleaners in Bangor, and Twin City Tile in Brewer.
On the next Last Man Standing, Mandy gets a lesson in Mikeonomics.
You want money? Maybe you should do what other people do.
Get my own reality show. Dad, I'm trying.
How about a part-time job?
John. Oh my God, are we poor?
You are. We're doing very well.
But her new job has some occupational hazards.
There was a workplace accident.
What happened?
I accidentally used my employee discount to buy a lot of cute clothes.
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22.
Situated in Jonesboro on the coast of Maine lies Barren View Golf Course, a true links course that's a treat for golfers of all skill levels. We feature a driving range, putting green, practice sand trap, pro shop, and snack bar. Open 7 days a week. Please call ahead for a tee time.
Here's a look at some of those upbeat stories making headlines today.
Ted Sams was suspended from San Gabriel High School 5 days before the end of the 1962 school year. After making up a crucial exam, Sams tried to pick up his diploma, but the school said not until a $4.80 book fine was paid. Friday, at the age of 78, Sam finally walked across the stage and collected his diploma. It's not just the #1 movie in America. Top Gun is an actual training academy, and for the students at the Naval Air Station in Fallon, Nevada, they're watching real-life play out on the big screen. Some instructors say they've been dreaming of flying fighter jets since they were kids. Top Gun commanders say the movie is pretty accurate, demonstrating some of the best fighter pilots in the Navy. Nicaragua's capital held a competition for the biggest baby bump in honor of the country's Mother's Day on Monday. The winner, 31-year-old Layla Rebecca Hernandez, who at 9 months pregnant measured 22 inches. Her grand prize, a refrigerator, baby products, and $130. And a first edition signed copy of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is going up for a private sale at Christie's in London next week. The book is rare not only because it's a first edition, it includes several errors, including a misspelling of philosophers. Bids will start at £200,000 or $250,000 or about 40,000 galleons. And those are some of the other stories making headlines on ABC7.
Well, we got a chance to speak with Chef Gordon Ramsay about a couple of his competitions airing now while he's excited to announce a new show. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Chef Gordon Ramsay keeps serving up the competition series on Fox. His newly announced show, Food Stars, seeks gourmet entrepreneurs. Season 2 of Next Level Chef premieres after the Super Bowl in February, and 2 shows from the Ramsay repertoire are currently airing.
Oh my God!
Master Chef Back to Win on Wednesdays brings second chance challenges.
How does Back to Win up the competition and even your critiques on them?
Yeah, it's a tough one, this one, because season 12 Back to Win is all about redemption, second chance, second bite of the cherry. What have you got? This is not about producibility. How good have you become since you left the competition last time? So we have to raise the game as judges. They are better, and we go harder.
You have to fillet and cook an incredible salmon.
Thursdays, it's the culinary creatives of MasterChef Junior.
It's not about A stars and A's. It's about confidence, personality. Food brings that out of them.
At their age, Ramsay learned from his mom, who worked as a chef.
Yeah, I was hard working at 8, and I'd clean up. There's no such thing as dishwashers in those days. It was these things here that you wash dishes. My mum had 3 jobs, so we grew up with that work ethic. And food was very basic but delicious.
Along with shows and restaurants, Chef Ramsay has found another expertise, it seems. Recently named the UK's most followed TikTok account, thanks to those famous tips and critiques.
Why is a 55-year-old chef the most followed TikTok in Europe? Knows. I can't dance for a living. I can cook, but it's a bit strange.
I'm not in this business to lose.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And with one final look at our forecast this morning, here's meteorologist Devin Biggs with the latest. Devin, good morning.
Alrighty, Joe, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Patriot Homes and Design Center in Ellsworth. We do it all from modular, mobile, and site-built homes to porches, garages, roofs, and more. Alrighty, so we do have a frost advisory that was up until about 6 a.m. this morning. That has since been dropped. It was for the counties highlighted here in blue because temperatures there got down to the lower to even middle 30s this morning, supporting frost development, though, especially with the clearest skies earlier. Now we're watching more clouds that are moving in from the northwest to the south and east. As we're watching our next system here, that's pretty much gone stationary. This front is pretty much stationary at this point. It's going to try to start moving to the north and east as a warm front briefly, though. Before this system starts to move in soon, it'll give us some decent chances for rain coming up over the next few days. Wave heights are very calm right now. That's why there are no small craft advisories in effect along the coast, mainly at around 1 to 2 feet. At this point, though, we expect these to remain calm for most of the day because winds will not be a big deal at all, maybe getting up around 10, maybe 15 miles per hour if you're lucky, but rather remaining calm as we head towards Thursday morning. As for the water temperatures, though, those are still rather low at this point. We're still seeing water temperatures that are still in the lower to middle 50s. But with that in mind, though, if you're going outside today, your UV index forecast is at a 7, so a burn time of around 30 minutes. So hats, sunglasses, sunscreen, and shade still needed, though, as you can still get sunburned, even though we will have some clouds moving in throughout the day. Our average high is now 71 degrees. We will be in the lower 70s today and tomorrow, then cooling off into the lower 60s by Friday, then trending back up by Monday and Tuesday into the lower 70s. So temperatures near to slightly below average, but not too bad for this time of the year. But increasing clouds will be be the theme today with rain just off toward our south and west. We will have our chances for rain as we head towards the overnight period tonight. Not the strongest of chances, maybe a few showers, and that'll be about it. Clouds will clear out for the most part. We'll call it partly cloudy through the day on Thursday, so we will notice some sunshine, though, before more clouds try to sneak in here as we head towards Friday morning as that next system approaches. Increasing clouds today, temperatures in the lower 70s, and that northwest wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, 47 degrees, rain showers will be on the way, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. Looking ahead towards tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs in the lower 70s, and the wind overall still looking nice and calm. Alrighty, your Patriot Homes, or I should say your Patriot Homes and Design Center in Ellsworth extended forecast looking pretty good through at least Friday before rain moves back in. Saturday, thunderstorms on the way. Sunday, more rain on the way. Temperatures overall in the 60s and 70s.
My name is April, and I am a caregiver. I've been with Nell now for 2.5 years. I know how much her family relies on me.
At Care.com, you can find the local senior care help your family needs with profiles, reviews, and more. Care.com.
Angie's List is now Angie, and it's easier than ever to get your projects done right. With Angie, you can connect with top pros and see ratings and reviews. And when you book and pay through Angie, you're covered by our happiness guarantee. Check out Angie.com today. Angie, and done.
Dude, can you believe we're graduating? And they helped us find a great job. Soon we'll be living the dream.
Exactly. I'm incredibly grateful for Maine Job Corps. If it wasn't for them, I'd be working an entry-level job and barely making it.
Let Team Maine Job Corps help find the career that's right for you. Call 561-8516.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Yes. 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 I'll have what she's having, and you can too. Get ready for the good dish. Delicious twist on your favorite comfort foods. Decadent desserts you can whip up in no time. And game-changing shortcuts. What's for dinner is about to get way easier. And way more fun than doing the dishes. So get ready to get dishing.
Weekdays at 1 on Fox 22.
If there's one dessert that shouts summer, it's got to be s'mores. But when we want them, we need hot coals to toast marshmallows. And when that's not possible, rather than simply passing them by, we created a bar cookie version that's anytime easy. We begin by beating some butter and sugar until it's nice and creamy. Once it is, we add in some peanut butter, an egg, and a splash of vanilla. After that comes together, we slowly mix in some self-rising flour and beat it until it creates a soft dough. Now we spread this into a baking dish and top it off with a jar of marshmallow cream. It's a good idea to spray our spreader with nonstick cooking spray so it doesn't stick to it. A few chocolate chips and roasted peanuts go on top before baking it off. And if you're thinking, wait, peanut butter doesn't belong in s'mores, well, after one bite, all of that will change. You see, with the combo of the chocolate and the marshmallow cream, along with all the peanut buttery richness, you won't even miss toasting marshmallows. So here's what I suggest. Go online and get the recipe for our peanut butter s'more bars as a way to welcome in summer with a dessert that's as portable as can be. I'm Howard from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a toasty and a gooey way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
A beloved bookstore cat is retiring from his day job. For 14 years, the main cat character at Loganberry Books in Shaker Heights, Ohio, was Otis. The feline has been a star employee, greeting visitors as they came into the store, but now the cat is clocking out one last time, getting ready for a well-deserved retirement. Loganberry Books owner remembers when Otis first got the job, recalling how persistent he was.
Otis approached me for a job 14 years ago. He was quite persistent and good looking, good on a ladder, very good with customers, knew his jurisdictions very well, and so I took him on.
Although fans of Otis may miss the original star of the shop, Loganberry hired a new cat to fill his position. Otis's little sister Alice will be stepping into the job. So be worried if you do have a sister, she may take your job one day. And finally, the Maine Wildlife Transport shared a few photos of some of their recent rescues over the past few weeks. Viewer discretion